So recently I was browsing through the internet trying to become a lot more knowledgeable about the game, and I saw a lot of mistakes the beginners were making, so I thought to myself, if only there was a way for these beginners to receive this information and help them get better. Hello everyone, my name is Arion, but I also go by AJ or Superfly Guy, and here are 5 things I wish I knew about teamfight tactics before I started playing. Number 5. Watch streams. And when I say watch streams, I mean go to twitch.tv/superflyguy81 and click the follow button. I stream almost daily. You know, I'm just playing. But when I say watch streams, I mean watch professional players stream on Twitch. Like there are people like K3 Soju, Liquid Currentx, Raditz FN, and a plethora of other streamers that are streaming this game daily and streaming at a very, very high level. So if you just sit in there streaming and watch them play, you'll learn a lot of different things about the game that you wouldn't learn on your own. And also watching streams just introduce you to a larger sample size than yourself, because you can only play a certain amount of games. At least me personally, like I can only play 3 to 4 games before I kind of get tired or exhausted from playing the game. So that's only 3 or 4 games of me like trying stuff out and see what works. And I like value those games pretty highly. So chances are I'm not going to be too risky in what items I put on my carries to see what works or what not, or what doesn't work, because I just want to do what works and get LP. So on the other hand, if you watch other people stream for a lot longer than you do, you can definitely see a lot of different things work out, how they work out, and what works and what doesn't work without you actually having to play the games yourself. So yeah, watch streams. Go to my Twitch channel, click the follow button. Greatly appreciate it. Number 4. Just because you're bad at a patch does not mean you're bad at the game. I know especially right now, a lot of people are feeling really discouraged about the game and wondering if they're like bad at the game or not, but a singular patch doesn't define you as a player. So if you're struggling on a patch and you can't seem to figure out what the problem is and where you're making your mistakes at, just know that one singular patch doesn't define you as a player. If you keep playing, if you keep grinding out, if you keep dedicating time to the game, you're going to get better eventually. And also, you aren't alone. There are many more players just like you out there that are struggling with you as well. And like I said before, if you watch streams, you'll see some of these professional players struggling too and trying to understand the game better, trying to figure out what they're doing wrong. And sometimes like a patch just doesn't click well with you. Sometimes you just don't like how the meta is, or you just don't like how things are going. Especially right now with 3 compositions being like the main meta right now, just Cybers, Jinx, Brawlers, and Riven. If you don't like playing those comps and you don't like fighting for those units every single game, naturally you're going to be bad at this specific patch. So don't let that define you as a player and just keep trying your best. Number 3. Tournaments are very different from the ladder. And when I say this, I mean as far as like how the meta shakes out and what builds you can and can't go. So usually on ladder, you know what builds are meta, and for the most part people force those builds. But in a tournament setting where you have a lot of people trying to play the same comp because they want to place well in the tournament, a lot of times you can play something completely uncontested and do very well with it because you just get the units for free and nobody's holding them from you. An example of this is when I was playing inside the Team Liquid Galaxy qualifiers like a few weeks ago. This is when Star Guardians were like just falling off, but they were not nearly as strong as they once were before, and it was like kind of a coin toss going for them, because if somebody contested you, it just wasn't going to work out. So therefore, inside my lobby, a lot of people decided to play Cybers, they decided to play Brawler Blasters, but there was one guy who decided to just play Star Guardians, and nobody contested this guy, and nobody scouted for him either. So like he was just kind of smurfing on the whole lobby, just killing everybody playing Star Guardians, and he ended up going first with it. So naturally, like that would happen, seeing as nobody was holding his units and he was uncontested. But on the ladder, like in the ladder game, that probably wouldn't have gone as well, because there'd probably be at least one person contesting him, and also he could have got really unlucky. So the fact that he was uncontested and nobody was like even considering that Star Guardians was a threat until he actually started winning fights is obvious how different tournaments can be from ladder. Number 2, your rank does not matter at all. And when I say this, I don't mean like you shouldn't be proud of your rank or you shouldn't be like glad that you're able to get to a certain point, but I mean as far as like when you're up against other players and they're a higher rank or a lower rank than you, it doesn't really mean nothing inside of a game like teamfight tactics. And I say this because a lot of the times your skill is limited to a certain extent, And there's not, it's not like League of Legends where you can smurf in silver and you can just go 15-0 and like hard carry your team by yourself. In teamfight tactics, there are a lot of different factors that are kind of out of your control. So if you get unlucky, or if you like make one mistake and somebody decides to make the right decision, you can very well easily lose to a silver player if you're a challenger player. And especially in the meta right now, where it's only 3 comps that are viable, if you don't hit or if you don't get lucky enough, you'll probably lose to somebody that's lower than you, and vice versa. You'll probably beat somebody that's higher than you if you do hit. So your rank really doesn't matter whatsoever. And I learned this, it was kind of shocking when I first learned this, because I was actually playing inside of a tournament when I learned this, and I was playing up against TSM Kiting as hard, and it was surprising to me. It was actually like really shocking, because I thought that he would like just win the lobby by himself. I think at this point he was sitting at Grandmaster or Challenger Elo, and I was sitting at like Diamond 1, close to Master. But like you can definitely tell that the skill disparity is there. Like he's definitely a better player than me, but in that specific lobby, in that specific instance, he didn't play his best, and I played at one of my best, and so I ended up going 2nd, and he ended up going 7th, I believe. So your rank really doesn't matter. Stop worrying about what other people's rank are and all that, and just play your game to your best of your ability. And number 1, sometimes you are just unlucky. Now this tip right here is a hard pill for me to swallow, because I hate being unlucky. I want to high roll every single game and just win. And who doesn't, right? But sometimes that's just not how things work out. Sometimes you just get very unlucky. Sometimes you econ perfectly and get to level 8 and roll down for all your units and hit nothing, and there's nothing you can really do about it. Or sometimes you have like a horrible start, a horrible opener, and you're just lose streaking for the first 2 rounds, 2 stages, and there's nothing you can really do about that. So instead of like letting that tilt you or letting that affect how you play, you should really just like, you know, kind of charge into the game, just kind of expect it to happen sometimes, and just keep playing to your best of your ability, because the second that you start tilting in this game, that's when it's actually over. You have to keep a positive mentality. And there's like another side to this as well, because just like sometimes you're unlucky, you have to understand that sometimes you are going to be lucky as well. So sometimes you're going to high roll really hard, and sometimes you're gonna low roll really hard, and that's just part of the game. That's just how the game is set up. So just don't let it affect you, don't let it get you down, and keep doing your best. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. If you like the content that you've seen, please consider subscribing to my channel or even liking the video, and connect with me on other platforms. I'm also on Twitter. I'm also really active on Twitter. I'm also active on Instagram, so I'll leave those links down below in the description. And also let me know down below in the comments what you guys want to see from this channel, because I'm trying to get more consistent with my uploading, but I'm having problems like trying to figure out exactly what to upload or how to take this channel, because TFT right now is really like stagnant and there's not much to really do about it. So just let me know what you guys are thinking, and I'll see you guys in the next video.